The more things change, the more they stay the same. You guys might remember that quote from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. If you don't, hey, you just don't play Call of Duty for real. Nah, but this is a new series that I'm starting with you guys, and it is called Off Topic, because what we're talking about is off topic from the stuff that I usually talk about, but I feel it's still important to bring up topics that aren't exactly motivational, but things that you guys should know about that is happening in the current world, so you guys are updated and up to date with what is going on. So if you guys don't know already by the title, we're talking about Call of Duty. It's one of my favorite games in history. I grew up on it. I loved it to death. I played it with almost every single one of my family members at this point. It's one of the biggest franchises in gaming history. They make millions every year for people playing multiplayer, to playing zombies, to grinding for camos, and so much of the game has changed within recent times. And I think one of the biggest conversations that is not just for Call of Duty, but for gaming in general, which I have seen this trend lately, is how much is being created by humans and how much is being generated by AI. If you guys don't know the news already, Steam has recently forced Activision, well, not just Activision, but has forced any game company that is putting their game on Steam to disclose if AI is present within their games. And that doesn't mean just the, robots running around shooting people, the bots in the game that I'm using, when I play World at War, right? They're not talking about that. They're talking about AI generating assets, generating art, generating code, etc. All of that stuff has to now be disclosed from Steam's terms of service. This really does bring up an important topic. One, it discloses that Call of Duty has finally had to admit that they've been using AI. It was a discussion for a long time. People were saying that they weren't, and that it was all made by humans, and the developers work really hard, blah, 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 blah. But now, as you can see, stuff is being generated by AI. And they didn't disclose what is made by AI. They said that some game assets are made by AI, which could mean a lot of things. It could mean the whole game is made by AI. It could mean 1% of the game is made by AI. It could mean 50%. We don't know what is made by AI, but we know now that AI is used. And this asks an important question. How does this change how we look at game development moving forward? Because I really feel like people are not really taken this topic seriously for any game in general, because it matters, right? Think about it. The things that you buy, because we're not talking about just the anti-cheat or enemy behavior, for example, right? That is used by AI to help. We're talking about textures, assets in the game. We're talking about animations. We're talking about weapon balancing, matchmaking adjustments, all of these things, right? Things that you buy in the store, in the shop, could possibly be made by AI. And this is the thing people are talking about now with Call of Duty as well, is that some of the things in the store look like it's made by AI, which can or cannot be proven, right? Because you don't know what was made by a person. Maybe they're just a bad artist, or maybe they're a really good artist. You can't tell. But something that you may be paying $30, $40 for could have been generated by AI. Somebody went as simple as click, click, clack on the keyboard, hit enter, and boom, you just paid $40 for something that you could have went on ChatGPT and made. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. And this stuff matters. This stuff matters because, yes, this can cut cost on a lot of creative work in game studios, right? Like, yes, AI could be used to cut making different code and having to repeat certain things, right? But the problem with that is how much actual creative work goes into this. There's a lot of things. For example, one thing is that could it lead to more recycled content instead of new innovations? And are they using AI to benefit the players or just the company's bottom line? And what I mean by that is eventually it's going to get to the point where AI gets so good at generating this stuff, they won't need artists anymore. If you guys have seen recently, they have made a post about getting AI trainers, like people that are trained to generate AI content and to clean it up on Photoshop or whatever it is. This is a completely different job from having actual artists who could create and work on these things. So this cuts a lot of people out of a job, because these game studios could just go, why am I going to pay X amount of money for an artist when we could just have AI generated, and then just have someone who may be getting paid less than an artist, or just have somebody else in the company clean it up? Because yes, you could have the same person who was creating the creative work, right, clean up the assets, but it's still generated by AI. You don't have to pay these people the same amount you were paying them to make it when AI is doing the bulk of the work. And you might think, wow, why is that such a bad thing? You know, maybe I want to pay $40 for my skin in Call of Duty and not really worry about, you know, who made it or what it was made by AI. But this can cut into copyright issues, because technically anything that you make with AI can be public domain. Anything, because you didn't make it. The AI generated it. So how is it your work? Yeah, you slapped it on your title, you slapped a name on it, but it's not your work. You didn't create it yourself. AI did. You used the asset, yes, but copyright, how does that work? You know, it's just certain things that you really have to think about, and where the gaming community is headed and how it affects us in the future, you know? Because right now, AI is not going anywhere. As we can see, it's been used for so many things. Coca-Cola has recently did this, where they used AI for a commercial. And this sparks a lot of debate, because yeah, the commercial didn't look that great. However, you start to get to the point where AI is going to replace actors, replace people, and you're not going to need these people anymore. And is AI being used to enhance creativity, or is it being used to replace that creativity? Like I said, are we leaving room to have human innovation, or are we leading to the point where we just have AI replace everything? And you know, it's crazy, because a lot of people debated on me on the video I made a really long time ago, which was only last month, on Call of Duty. And the big topic was AI was one of them. And I remember the long paragraph that somebody had sent to me that I was going to reply to, and I decided I'm gonna let the game speak for itself. The declining player base and them having to disclose that AI has been used in the game, I didn't need to speak. I know what Call of Duty is like before. I know what hard work looked like before, because I wanted to work for them. Hey, I could possibly still work for them if I wanted to, but I wanted to so bad, because I loved that franchise to death. I loved Call of Duty to death, and I know what that company can do. I know what the creators of that company can do. David Vonderhaar, all of these people, I know how much they worked to make Call of Duty where it is now. And it's not the same no more. It is not. And I wish that it could go back to how it was before, but people spend so much money on skins and buy so much to the point where people don't, I mean, people really don't care anymore. And AI is kind of a hot topic now, because it's like, it's not replacing people yet. Companies are using it just to streamline production, right? And it depends on the company that you work for, how they handle it. Will it bring more quality games, or are they using AI to get away with doing a lot of the heavy lifting to disguise it as innovation? Because at the end of the day, AI is a very useful tool, but it also could be a tool that can possibly hurt a lot of people in the long run. But like I said, this topic is just off topic. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below how you guys feel about AI in gaming, and how Steam has had to have companies disclose if AI is in games, and how you guys feel about Activision and their child companies using AI in their video games. And I will yap with you guys again for another alt topic video.